Hi, I'm Christian with Tech, and we will be going over how to replace your touchscreen assembly on a Matilda. So all the tools you need would be a T10 bit or a screwdriver, and a Phillips head bit also, or a screwdriver. So first off, we want to make sure that the machine is unplugged from power. And then after that's unplugged, we can just go over and take the 10 screws out of the bezel. Once we have the bezel out, we just want to move to a flat surface preferably, and we can start by unplugging the speaker and then taking the 4 screws out from the speaker. And then at this point, we will also want to use a flathead screwdriver to just push the battery out and then remove that. And then on our new bezel, we want to make sure that the positive on the battery is facing upwards when we install it. And to install it, just make sure that you push it in all the way and it won't be able to go anymore. And for our speaker, we just want to make sure that the wires are facing to your left when you go to install. And just start 1 screw. Don't tighten it all the way until we have all the 4 screws pre-installed. And then we can go ahead and tighten all the screws. And then the speaker has a little plastic notch, so the connector can only go in one way. Now it's time to reinstall it back into the pasteurizer. So we can start off by installing our power wires. On the board itself, you can see a plus 24 volt and then a DC common for a negative. So the blue one is your positive. We can go ahead and just click that into place, and then for a negative, same thing. Just go ahead and install that. There's going to be these 2 thermostat wires that go in, and the easiest way to tell them, or tell which one is which, is by when they get plugged into the board itself, they both crisscross. So there's one on each side, and you can trace that back. But when you go to plug them in, they crisscross each other. So the one from the left of the machine will go in the right connector, and then opposite for the other connector. And then we have our Ethernet wire. There's one that comes from the top, and then one that comes from behind the machine. So the one that comes from the top is going to go into our bridge link, because that's the one that comes from up where the motor is. Just want to click that in. And then the one that's coming from the back of the pasteurizer goes into our power link. And then our fan connector is the same as the speaker one, so it only goes in one way. We just want to put that where the fan header, in between the bridge and power link connector. The last 2 wires are for our lid sensors, and these just go in, get plugged in like that. You plug in each side, so the right one goes to the right connector, and then the left one goes into the left one. When that's done and that's all connected, we can just start by putting the bezel in from the bottom and make sure that no wires get caught in the middle here apart from the fan wire, and then that'll just go right into place like that. From then we can just go ahead and screw in our 10 screws to the bezel. So we just want to make sure it's lined up. Just start the first one, and then they can all just be tightened after that. So after that's all done, we can go ahead and plug it in, make sure that the power's on properly and it doesn't give any error codes. Typical error codes on these would be if you have the 2 Ethernet wires plugged in where they're not supposed to, or in opposite connections, you might have like a communication error with a power or with a bridge error. If your screen doesn't come on and you hear a buzz in the back, it might be that your power wires are reversed. And then if your temperatures go up too fast or they're just going up and down, that's probably your thermostat wires that are backwards. But if you have any other questions or have any issues, please feel free to call the Dairy Tech Service Department.